questions since this is a new project. Many questions since this is a new project. Many questions out there. And, you know, we're only about, what, 7-8 days in. So we're doing really well. I think we're at 1.3 million liquidity, 20 million market cap, 1,700 holders or something like that. So we're doing really well. So first, I think we'll start off with an introduction. We'll do Delicious Tuna, and he can tell you who he is and kind of how we started all this.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Tuna. So thanks for that, DeFi dude. Yeah, so Optimus, welcome to the project. It's great to have you guys all here. It's something that we really just built by having listened to what people were saying they wanted, you know, like we know a lot of you guys are really into some other projects like Stable Fund and EasyBots, and we've been using those too. I mean, as you know, DeFi dude is using them. You all follow him on YouTube. We thought we would just look at those and see what we could do better, and see if we can make them easier to use for more people to get into it. So that's kind of where we came from. I approached DeFi Dude maybe 2 months ago to do a collaboration, and this is what we built together.
Hello guys, I'm Rusty, head of the strategic development at Optimus. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So we created the algorithmic trading engine that powers Optimus to take us towards DeFi Dude's vision to distribute revenue to all OPT holders. I'm currently based out of Germany and Switzerland, where I have a background in fintech and financial. I've done a lot of trading in my time. I study business and mathematics, and yeah, I've got a lot of experience with crypto and traditional markets. So we've designed Optimus to use most successful automated trading strategies so that we can all benefit from passive income. This is what motivates me to work in this field. It's a real pleasure to be part of your community, and I say that I speak for the whole team when we say that the positive vibes of this community really make all the hard work enjoyable. Big thank you to every Optimus holder for making this a pleasant experience. Before we get started with questions, let me just take a moment to run you all through the project from launch to date, because it's been an incredible journey and we can look back on it with pride. So we launched on Monday, the 29th of August with 30,000 of liquidity. The price was set at 0.0029 Matic. And it's always good, guys. We only trade against the Matic pair, not against the US dollar values. So, everything that we reference will be against Matic. So you can switch all of your charts to looking at Matic, all right? Yeah, so the first 24 hours were wild. And then came the incident with our rebase technology. The three of us then worked around the clock with the help of some community members to release the solution to our community as soon as possible. In my opinion, there are two key metrics we can measure our early success in. That's the amount of wallets holding OPT and our liquidity. As of today, when I had a look at about 1300 UTC time, there were 1,618 Optimus wallet holders, and every single one of those who have ever purchased OPT are in profit. That's a huge achievement. We have over 1.3 million in liquidity. Now let's put that in perspective. Across all DEXs that operate on Matic, as listed on the DEX screener, we're currently ranked 37. However, this includes all wrapped Matic pairs, and USDT and USDC pairs. These aren't projects. These are just people swapping in between wrapped ETH and say USDT. So when you compare us to all projects listed on Matic, we're ranked at 11 at the moment, and we're climbing. So this is an achievement we can all be proud of. So that's my introduction over. Now I hand it over to the community for questions.
Great job, guys. Hey, Ben, you got some questions? You guys came up with some questions earlier. We asked you guys to come up with some questions, so we could get that out of the way so we don't have to worry about some not getting answered. So he's going to be asking some questions right now.
Yes, sir. I got all the questions from the community right here. So we're just going to do a little speed round with this. First one, can Optimus be considered deflationary, or at some point can the supply surpass the initial supply?
Okay, I'll tackle this one. So the second part of that question, no, the supply can't surpass the initial supply. Um, Optimus is designed to become deflationary over time. So at the start, as of right now, it's an inflationary token because of the rebase mechanism. What's happening is the supply is increasing by 1% every day. But what we've done is put together sort of a strategic plan for how we turn it into a deflationary token. And the way this works is that we move more and more tokens into liquidity over time. And from there, they're burned to the quantity of 1% each day. So we have this offset to the inflation that allows us to slow it down at the start, and eventually when we reach that tipping point, the token will become completely deflationary.
Very nice, very nice. The next one that we had was, according to the white paper, what are the Optimus V3 multi-chain plans?
Yeah, so the clue is in the name. We're going multi-chain. Working on the next iteration of the Optimus token right now to prepare it for that. That involves just having some compatibility stuff that makes it work in DeFi more broadly. So part of the plan for V3, it's an ongoing discussion right now, but what we're looking at is ideas like having a borrow and lending infrastructure. One thing we're really excited about is a bonding mechanism. This would allow users to purchase OPT at a discount from the market value in exchange for LP tokens, where OPT itself is one half of that pair. So think Olympus DAO, for example, made this concept popular, and it's a very interesting and powerful revenue mechanism. So we'll be looking into that for V3. Also, we're talking about various staking mechanisms and governance implications for the ecosystem and how that could work in the future. But yeah, I just want to emphasize that the discussions are very much ongoing for what will be included in V3 and beyond. We're building this for the community, and we want to hear your guys' feedback at this stage so that we know what to build for you. So make yourselves heard, don't be shy.
That's great to hear. The next one is going to be, is there any interest in a centralized exchange despite the difficulty of rewarding 1% to centralized exchange holders?
Yeah, so we're currently in talks with multiple exchanges actually. We can't say who they are yet because this is just the early stages of those talks, but these are name brand centralized exchanges in the top 10, so exchanges you will have heard of. We had a meeting just a couple of hours ago actually where we took some very real steps towards getting our first listing. And based on the enthusiasm that we had from those guys, we anticipate huge interest, and with it, the trading volume coming from listing on these exchanges. It's also a really cool additional revenue stream for the protocol, and ultimately that means for holders, because we'll be able to capitalize on the swap fees that are being taken on the exchanges as well as on the decentralized exchanges like QuickSwap, where we currently trade. And the way this works is that we have specific affiliate agreements set up with each exchange, and that's looking like it might be a really powerful source of revenue for us. In terms of the difficulty of rewarding that 1% rebase, we've actually anticipated that problem and already have solved it going into those talks. It's going to involve something called a wrapped token, which I won't get too far into the solution right now at this stage, but basically you'll be able to hold OPT in such a way where you can trade it on exchanges and still receive those rebases every single day.
Very nice, very nice. Next question is, what security measures are in place to prevent hacking?
So we've been unofficially audited by 2 independent security experts so far. One of those was instrumental in helping us to overcome some problems that we had early on. And these are just guys from the community. So really impressed by how those people came forward to help us out when we made that call. Blockchain itself is, probably the most secure technology in the world in terms of being resistant to what you might typically think of as a cybersecurity attack. Whether you're on Bitcoin proof of work or Ethereum-based networks such as Polygon, which are proof of stake, it's extremely, extremely unlikely that any kind of attack will be able to occur on a protocol that is secured by blockchain. That's one of the main reasons why we like to use it. And then in terms of our own contract code, it's all open source. It's all right there on chain for you to look at and independently verify that it works as advertised. The contracts that we write and all the updates that we make to them have been thoroughly tested, thoroughly vetted. We've got a small group of guys, some of whom are security experts who do this for a living, and they've all looked through this. One person in particular who's extremely an extremely high level security expert has kind of given the green light on everything that we're putting out there. So we're very confident in the security of the contracts themselves. And yeah, we just try to anticipate and protect ourselves against every possible attack vector that we can think of. And so far, yeah, we've had no issues.
Good to hear. You guys did a fantastic job when that, first problem arose. You really worked day and night, it seems. So next question that we have, this is a bigger one. This is a two-part one. How is the bot getting access to the funds that are in the contract and the liquidity, as well as where do the funds come from to provide the money for the bots that are trading those Matic pairs?
I'll take this one. Optimus is unique in the fact that we don't have a pool, a contract. There's no lockup for our users. So yeah, there's nothing for us to use there in by itself. So we've developed this plan, this idea where the bot generates its revenue purely from trading. So we've got these provenly really awesome algorithmic trading strategies that are working. And yeah, so currently the Optimus bot trades OPT2 and 2 other Matic pairs. We're in the process of creating bots for the Binance Smart Chain as well. In the talks that we just had with, which was pretty inspiring really, with the centralized exchange, we are looking to integrate our bots with this centralized exchange as well. So I have more upcoming meetings with these guys. That's going to offer us huge opportunities to sort of capitalize on the liquidity that these guys have. I mean, the more money we can bring in from our trading bots and outside of the community, the more of a chance that we have to have this sustainable for the rest of our lives. So yeah.
Very good, very good. Next question that we have is, why does Optimus not have the same volatility as other coins?
Volatility works in both ways. It works up and down. So there are coins out there that are designed, to pump and to dump. We've built Optimus a little bit different. This is based on DeFi's original idea to provide something incredible to his community, and it's a community that's become a family. It's expanding, and we're all part of this. The idea that OPT can pump is effectively just saying, well, original holders can then offload their coins at a ridiculous profit onto new members. But we want to bring new members into the community. It's not the idea, like we're creating something unique in that sense. The last thing we want is for new community members to come in after a price pump, get all excited, start buying into Optimus, and then for the price to come back down. Right? This is not sustainable, and it's not the vision that we have or are trying to build. So we control the volatility. The bot controls the volatility. It allows new members to enter at a fair price while allowing a controlled fair range for existing members to take profits, to exit their positions. Yeah, so you have this range that allows a fair transaction, a transaction between older members and new members. This is, we value the new members coming in as much as we value the older members. There is no difference in our mind. And this is written into the code, which is really, really cool. So yeah, we've got these new ideas, and yeah, we're just trying to run with these ideas without, yeah. Yeah, I think that answers it. That's cool.
That's fantastic. I had a quick follow-up question on that question previous, not that one that you just said, but the one before that. I was wondering about the bot that is trading the Matic pairs. What funds is that trading with? Is that trading with the liquidity, or is that trading with some funds that you guys put up? Along with that, how is that doing? Are you guys?
So we don't have the ability to trade with liquidity. This doesn't exist. The liquidity is the liquidity. It's there in the liquidity pool, and the bot is creating revenue, adding it to liquidity, and keeping some of that revenue to the side to add to its bot pairs to give it more power and dominance in the market. Every bit of revenue that the bot generates begins with either our own capital or from capital that it has generated by trading. It's a very clear contract. We don't have any pools that it can take, and we can't take from the liquidity. It's not in our, we don't want to be removing liquidity. We're trying to grow liquidity. So that number will continue to grow. It's at 1.3 million, but we have no plans to remove liquidity from that contract. So yeah, it's proving itself as it goes. The more time that passes and liquidity continues to grow, and then the more secure we are, and the less risk there is. So yeah, every single piece of revenue by nature has to come from trading.
Sounds good. That answered my question. The next one that we have from the community is, does it rely on new investors to keep growing? If so, wouldn't this be considered a Ponzi?
Put simply, we don't have a contract that can be emptied. People can withdraw their funds at any time. We're constantly building liquidity. You guys have seen how fast that liquidity is growing. This translates to users or holders or people of our community. It gives you the ability to withdraw your funds at any time. There's no lockup, right? This is not a Ponzi. You can, as a free person, you can put your money in and out of Optimus at any time. We encourage people to take profits along the way. If you have and accumulate large bags, like, take profits. This is what it's about. We're all here to make money. We're all here to, you know, to change our lives and have this amazing passive income. So take profits as you need them along the way. That's what we're about. But there's no lockup. There's no contracts. This isn't first in wins. This isn't any of that. This is the opposite. This is based on values that were put forward by DeFi Dude for his community. So yeah, it will be considered or called or labeled anything by anyone, but the reality is, like, we have a strong community, and our proof is in what we're doing, and anyone can withdraw their funds at any time. So yeah.
All right, the next question that we had was, what sort of exposure does Optimus have to a market drop or a macro crash, and how does this affect the floor price?
Yeah, so this is a really cool feature that that we've put in place. In terms of market drops, we are only trading the Matic pair. So when the market drops, there isn't a lot we can do about what's happening in terms of US dollar value. Why? Because we don't trade US dollars. What we can control is how much Matic, because this is our trading pair, we trade in Matic, how much Matic our our OPT token can be swapped for. So yeah, the idea that that there's a lot of volatility and the floor price, that really does come into play when we have these drops. So we've designed the protocol to have this floor price. When there's high volatility and the bot is reading a whole bunch of different inputs, and one of those inputs is the Matic price, but also the US dollar price. And when the US dollar price is fluctuating, that is equal to volatility in the wider market, right? So if we're on par with Matic at 1-to-1 and there's huge amount of volatility in the market, then our US dollar price is going to be fluctuating. That's volatility, and that's how our bot reads volatility. So when that happens, we have our floor price is not fixed. It fluctuates. When we have these times of high volatility, the floor price actually moves higher, right? And that stops people exiting in panic, in fear, and secures our price during these uncertain times. There's a lot of calculations running to figure out these floor prices, but it's not fixed. It does fluctuate. A few of the other inputs that we have that determine the floor price is the average buy price weighted by volume. So we're tracking the price, each wallet, and the average price of all wallets, what their buy-in price has been, and then that's factored into the calculations. We also have the net inflow, outflow of users. Are we growing or are we shrinking? Are users leaving us or are they coming into the market? So this is another factor. Trading volume, and like I mentioned earlier, market volatility. In the most recent market dump, Bitcoin crashed quite a few percent recently. And I was excited, very excited, because I could see what was happening with the charts. And we started experiencing a sell-off as well. And it was very volatile in our price. But then the bot stepped in and it put the floor in place, and that worked really, really well. And we didn't see this exodus of users who were frightened. And then the price stabilized and continued on its path upwards. So it is not fixed. We're not a Terra Luna. We're not going to fix it to anything that's going to allow us to break. And yeah, I think it's a very unique way, but we can never give you a definite, this is the floor price, because first of all, that's not good for the community to know that, because people may not want to buy at any other price and just try to manipulate that. And but yeah, it is a variable. It doesn't stand still.
It's good to know. And finally, this is going to be the final question of the day from the community. Firstly, they said, thank you for this awesome project. My question is, if the two trading bots currently take both long, or if they both take long and short positions on these Matic pairs.
No, at the moment we're only currently taking long, going long, or accumulating assets at the moment, and then selling them at a higher price. We have a few strategies in place that I'm thinking about writing a small document showing the algorithmic trading strategies that we're implementing. We've got some really cool ideas, and it's a mix of what is known, and there's a few twists on there as well. We're using a lot of time series, so we're looking at data from anything from the minute all the way out to the 4-hour or even the 12-hour on the graphs, and we're compiling that in ways that you might not be able to understand without a computer interpreting that information, and what effect, say, the minute has on the 2-minute, on the 3, and how it's trickling over into the larger ecosystem. I'm thinking about publishing that. I'll have to have a talk with the crew. I don't think we mind publishing that, because it could be used by competitors, but there's enough liquidity and opportunities for everyone, and we're all about open source and everything. So yeah, I mean, keep looking at the white paper section, because I think we're going to I'd like to. I'd really like to at some point publish something showing what we're doing. In regards to the long and short positions, this is an exciting time because if we are able to implement some of our trading strategies on centralized exchanges, we're gonna use their liquidity. We're gonna have the opportunity to go long and short. Yeah. So and leverage. We can take strategies that work that are back tested, and we can up the ante on them. We can add a little bit more risk and hopefully get a lot more reward in a very controlled way. So yeah, exciting times.
Very
All right.
exciting indeed.
Hey, Ben, you want to open it up to the public here for some questions? Everybody want to raise your hand if you have a question. All right, Kryptonaire.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yes, the suggestion has been made that it will be a good idea to make a coin or to create a coin that will be pegged to a stable coin. Are you considering something like that?
Yes. In the future, it's very, very highly possible that we will open up liquidity against US dollar, whether that is on a decentralized exchange or a centralized exchange. So there is that possibility, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, hiya. Just a quick one. With the post you had today on your Discord server about the rebasing and that, when is it going to go to auto instead of manual?
I can tackle that. So yeah, that's a good question. I think we've already got someone in the community who stepped forward to write something that will automate that rebase system. The fact that it's currently manual was sort of a hot fix to get things working for the V2 migration. It's a little bit of a a sticking point, but that should be fixed, I'd say, in the next few days, no longer than a week from now.
I quite like the idea of having it as manual because it allows people from the community to go and basically just rebase it and just gift the community their rewards. But I was vetoed on that, and we're going to automate it.
Nice one, thank you.
All right. C3 Factory.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to thank you for the project. I love what you guys are doing. I think we're all making a ton of money off of this. It's just absolutely brilliant. I'm just curious, is there any plans to possibly add a feature to stake the token so you can make an additional yield on that?
We have intentionally left staking out of the contract because we want to make it as simple as possible. But there could be some things in the roadmap that are along those lines, such as bonding. Tuna?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be something that we'll implement for the OPT token itself, just because the token really is designed to give you that simplest possible user experience where it's just, rebasing, your wallet balance is growing, you don't have to do anything else with it. That was one of the things we wanted to simplify for people. Staking though, is kind of cool. We all like making extra money. We heard it mentioned in the chat with the exchange. They have some staking mechanisms where you can earn various governance tokens that might come into play in the future. I think if we were going to implement a staking mechanism, it would probably take the form of being around a secondary token that we would add to the ecosystem, some kind of governance token, or possibly even a liquidity pool token. But we're very much, on the lookout for suggestions and for feedback. So if you guys have ideas, yeah, please don't be shy. Let yourselves be heard.
Incredible. All right. Well, thank you again, guys. Yeah, you make it really easy for everyone. I mean, how simple does it get? Buy the token, let it rebase, make the money. I love it. Thank you again. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, hello, this is Dhruv here. Um, so, guys, you have been working very fantastically, and it is very great that we are earning a lot from your project and it's going very well. I just want to have a query that is there a possibility that we can add just one thing in UI, which I mentioned that how much profit we have earned till now? Is there a possibility we can add just one more of a brick in this UI?
Yes.
Yes. Until then, write down your buy price and how much you spent, and then in the future you'll be able to see your profits, your juicy profits.
Yeah, thank you for that suggestion. I think definitely. So we've got, my current focus has been making this wrapped token to prepare ourselves, to future-proof ourselves for V3, for integrating with exchanges and things like that. I'm going to be on that for the next sort of maybe week and a half, 2 weeks. After that, I think it'll be time for a complete overhaul of the interface. So that should give us a couple of weeks to listen to your suggestions and see how we can make the interface better, more simple, more clear, and also show some of the historical data so that you have a clear overview of what you've been earning, what you had in the past, what you currently have, and what you can expect to earn in the future.
Thank you so much. That answers my question.
Awesome. All right, Alexander, you're up. Okay, how about Jay?
Yes, hello.
Sorry. I was muted. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, basically, since with all this, with all the inflation, the 1% inflation, and obviously, this is not a Ponzi because of the bot and stuff. But do you think also there is the burning mechanics? Do you think because obviously if you compound all this inflation, there's going to be shitloads of this coin in the end because everyone has its own strategies. Are you planning something for the long term, for this to be actually sustainable, for the price to not crash, and considering the new investors that are coming, let's say new investors start to decline, and obviously people will start selling off because everyone is after profits in the end. Do you think this is something that will sustain in the long term?
I can give you a quick answer there, but I'll leave the main answer to Rusty. What I would say is just to keep in mind the main mechanic for how this works is that the bot is able to earn interest on the OPT tokens that it holds, as well as the other pairs that it trades. So the way we calculated how much we can afford to pay out to investors is based on how much the bot earns. And what's important to keep in mind is that as new investors come in, as the price of the token goes up, as we have more and more trading volume and more revenue from fees and everything else, the bot has exponentially more power to earn. So we're on the first day, turning 1% on a finite quantity of assets. On the 100th day or the 365th day, it's still earning that 1% just on a much larger bag of assets, which essentially means that it can continue doing what it's doing forever. That's sort of a high level overview, but I'll leave that to Rusty if you want to go into further depth answering that question.
Yeah. So no, that was a very good answer. The bots are trading and they're creating revenue, which then adds to the liquidity. By creating deeper and deeper liquidity, there is more and more of a matic pool for our community to take their profits in or to exit if they want to exit completely. So it's all part and parcel of creating deeper liquidity and having that floor price. We reserve a lot of the revenue to sustain a floor price, right? So it is sustainable for the long run. We're going to have at least 2 years of growth in the sense of, listings and hype and all of that. But in the meantime, we're building up these reserves, and you've seen you've seen how quickly we've built them up. It's quite incredible to see it in action. So it is very sustainable, but everyone is free to do as they will, and we always recommend taking profits along the way. That's part of the journey, So yeah, we're gonna be here for forever. As long as Matic is around, we'll be around. Yeah. So.
Love that
That's
answer.
awesome. I think
Hello,
everyone is making money here, and in the end, yeah, I mean, this is the first, I'd say, thing that I've been in that's literally no, I'm not getting fucked on, because I've been in shitloads of Ponzi's, yeah, but fuck it. Keep it up.
Definitely a good one.
Hello, this is Jay. I had a question. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead, Jay.
Yes. You were mentioning about publishing the sort of IP of the trading strategy, and while I value open source, as I'm sure many people in the community do, I would recommend, at least my personal opinion would be, to withhold publishing any details of the actual trading strategies for quite a while, and instead refocus that effort on creating more transparency around where the profits are coming from. So what the profits of the trading are, what the sources of the profits are, so that we can observe the money flows in and out of the projects. Is that something that would be a possibility?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Especially once, I mean, it's all going to, when we list on centralized exchanges and we have our bots trading there, it's going to be very easy to follow our profits on centralized exchanges. So yeah, I think we can do both as well. Yeah, it's not really IP. It's like if you have the blueprint for I don't know, like an airplane or something. It's not like everyone's just going to go out and build an airplane. You by offering that blueprint, you're sort of just helping the people who have the ability to do that. And I think yeah, so it's just my ideas and everything. Like if I have these ideas and I can share them with the wider community, then I think that's cool. It will just, it's only going to serve to bring more people to the Optimus community, because then you'll have, a lot more credibility, I suppose, for the more traditional finance people as well.
Yeah, I think my observations were simply, I like the idea of sharing the generalities behind the strategy and approach, but as whenever we're in the market and we're chasing after a finite supply of liquidity, it's just nice to protect what we're doing uniquely from other market participants who would come in and copycat and essentially steal future liquidity from ourselves as we grow. We don't know how big we'll be, say 1 year, 2 year, 3 years from now. So it would just be nice to have that protection over what we're doing that is unique.
Absolutely, yes. There are certain aspects that we won't be releasing. For example, what particular pairs we're trading and these sort of things, because and we've spoken about this between the team, and I've asked the guys to keep it quiet what we're actually trading, because we don't want to be front run. We don't want our trading strategies to be turned against us and for them to be turned into losing trades. So absolutely, you're right. Yeah, we're not going to be releasing. It's more of the general ideas and these sort of concepts that we're using. I don't think that they will, because I don't think they'll become less profitable if they don't know what we're exactly trading, because the concepts have been back tested across different markets as well, and they work in traditional finance as well as because my background's in traditional finance. So yeah, they work across all markets, and as long as you're not being front run and your people are operating in their own space, then the profit is there to be had. Yeah.
Thank you for
Just
your
one
time.
thing to add to that too is that I think I speak for all of us when I say our strategy in general terms regarding what you might call our competitors is that when you have something take off like this and you have such a powerful community, and sure, you know, at the start it might rely on some proprietary technology, but the advantage that you gain early on is so significant that it sort of puts you in a position where you can then collaborate with people who might otherwise be your competitors. So the way we do that is we essentially, you know, move to a point where we're able to offer infrastructure and services to people who might otherwise have been our competitors. And that way we just create a bigger ecosystem together rather than sort of fighting each other.
Benoit, you're up. All right, let's go Quest Cloud 9 Int.
Oh, sorry, I was mute. I was on mute. Sorry. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Thank you. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I had a very simple question. Maybe it sounds a bit stupid, but I'm just gonna ask it anyways. You said that there is no liquidity pool, and the money that is put in the project is not locked. I just was wondering what is the plus value of us having the money put in that project if it's not used for anything. I'm just trying to understand where is the interest for the community and the project to have just growing the liquidity, I imagine, but I just was wondering if there was any other purpose.
The only purpose is to create a community and generate revenue and share in profits together. That's the only reason you hold the token. It's quite simple, I think. The liquidity is generated from profitable trades by the bot and added to the liquidity pool. When you see that number go up, that's a good thing. Yeah, we don't have a contract, so the amount of OPT you hold is directly correlated to the amount of rewards you receive. We're trying to keep everything as simple as possible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. I was in a meeting. I'm in a meeting and I'm listening into you guys. Yeah, so my name is Quest, and it's Cloud9 Entertainment. I own a recording label out of New York City. And I probably was one of the people who got in around 7-8 cents. Kudos to you guys. Great job on what you're doing. I've been shilling you guys in my community of over 150 people for the past couple of days. And my question, very simple. I've worked with a couple projects that you guys probably know. A lot of people here also know me. I've worked with Ooze. I've worked with a few other projects. My question is, I see what you guys are doing, but what's like the long-term play in terms of like marketing, right? Because we want to grow the users and stuff like that. And We all know word of mouth is like the greatest way to go. But word of mouth goes only so far in DeFi because DeFi is basically such a small space, right? We're all the same people. We all know each other. We're literally basically trading each other's money. You know, that's basically what DeFi does. We're basically, you know, exit liquidity for one person and then another project, you know, their exit liquidity for us. So my thing is like, what's the long-term play with marketing in terms of building like a sustainable, consistent amount of new user growth and stuff like that, minus just word of mouth, minus AMAs, minus just talking to the same YouTube circle. If you guys don't have like a detailed plan or strategy yet, I would love to help you guys. You know, because that's kind of my area
The
for
thing is with all this going on and possibly get on a central exchange, there's not many DeFi projects on a centralized exchange. So that opens it up to millions and billions of dollars throughout that never come into DeFi.
Agreed. I agreed to that. Yeah.
We have quite a firm plan with marketing, and that is sort of a hands-off approach. Let the community grow itself through results. It's kind of like Bitcoin's proof of work. We're proof of results. We don't need to go out and shill for new people in order to grow this ecosystem. This ecosystem's growing by itself. You know, 1% paid out to the users sustainably per day is something that in the traditional world where I come from is completely unheard of. And the word's going to get around, and like DeFi said, we're going to be launched on some cool platforms coming up. We have some good contacts in the industry. Growth is inevitable.
Good vibes, man. Good vibes. Again, kudos to you guys, man, and keep up the good work, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Hey, a couple more questions. Rick, you're up.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so one question I had for you guys, with the Matic trading pairs, are there days where you guys are losing on your trades, or are they all more profitable days? Because I've done some trading myself, and I know there's losing days and there's winning days. Are you making enough that you're calculated that 1% that you're making more in those trades?
I would rephrase it to say accumulating days and distributing days. So we have quite a cool algorithm that determines if the market's moving sideways, downwards, or up. And at the moment, it comes down to accumulation days. And the more capital that we get behind us, the more those accumulation days amount to profit. So yeah, there are days where we don't bank huge amounts of profit because we're only going long on the market. But those are days that are essential to us because when that market has a bounce like it did today, everything works out exceedingly well. And we're looking at other strategies as well. And I'll go into more details if I finally put this paper out. But we're looking at some really, really low liquidity pairs that we may potentially have enough capital to do a liquidity squeeze on. But and then, you know, like you pull off a few moves like this and you're set for a good amount of time at 1% per day with the amount of holders that we have. So yeah, things are going really, really well at the moment, and we don't have losing days because we don't need to sell at a loss, but we just accumulate, and we have different ratios of accumulation depending on how much the market is moving against us. Well, we don't even call it moving against us because it's accumulation. We want it to move against us so that we can accumulate more while it's coming down, and then we offload as the market's moving up.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for this great project.
Hey, you're welcome.
One more question, Preacher, Crypto Preacher. Yeah, I can't hear you. All right, let's
Hello, can you hear me?
You there?
All right. First of all, I want to say kudos to you guys. You're doing a great job. Great work. Great project. Big up, to DeFi Dude. God bless you, for the things you do. I just wanted to, get, clarity. Even though I understand the concept, or rather, I'm trying to understand the whole concept. But for the sake of my community and for the sake of the of the new persons that I'm bringing in, I'm sure most of them are in this armor right now. So I want to get this. All right. So the bot trades to add up to the liquidity, so that the project does not depend on new users alone coming in, to make the 1% sustainable. And so I understand that. So what is the roadmap like in the next 6 months, 1 year? Any official roadmap? Are we building any new thing? Are we expanding the ecosystem? As time goes on, goes by, are we, going to be expanding the ecosystem? Are there new stuff that are going to be built? So I want to know.
We have some incredible announcements coming up. We've alluded to a few of them already today. There is a official roadmap also on the white paper that is going to be, as Tuna was saying, as he does the overhaul over the coming 2 weeks, we're going to be adding more and more to that roadmap as well. So just keep your eyes on the white paper. It's going to be updated, and that document section is going to have its own roadmap section and other documents as well. So yeah, exciting times coming up. Anyone else want to add anything?
All right, Thomas G, you're up.
And all the rest of it, and the commission and everything else, and then it's hard. I mean, when you start scaling that, there could be, and people have created businesses out of it, but they're not really providing a bot as such. They're just providing ideas that like DCA ideas and these sort of things. So what we're doing is that it can be viewed as that, as what you're suggesting. It is just a way to participate in that field without the complication and all the intermediaries that come with copy trading and all that sort of thing. So I personally don't have any plans to do that. I'm not sure about the others, but for me, no.
Cool, man. Works for me. It's easy as it gets there. You guys manage that. So just wanted to, ask that and thank you guys, because something truly, I think you guys started at the beginning of a new wave. I think there's going to be a lot of copycats. So hopefully we can educate the community out there to not jump on board with a lot of these scammers that will be trying to mimic what you guys are doing. They're already trying now. So, just warning people out there. This is one of a kind. Just because you didn't get in super early, I don't think it's late at this point, but I would avoid, people that are trying to clone or attempt, just for your safety.
Hey, really cool. Appreciate the words. Thanks.
All right, last question, Big Paul.
Hey, how you guys doing? Like to
Good,
say thank
good.
you. Like to say thank you for the project. Great that you guys are working together. Thanks to DeFi Dude for bringing it to the masses and the community. Can't thank you enough. This is for DeFi Dude. What's the big news, bro? You've been having us on pins and needles for the past week now. Let us know what the news is. Everybody's asking.
Well, we can't really say too much until it's like all finalized in paper. But like I said, I can't really say much. But it's going to be what, October 1st? We're thinking, guys.
We've alluded to it a lot without using the words, but yeah, it's going to be cool. There's going to be a lot of new players coming into new users, new community members coming into our community. So yeah.
Okay, so it's still in the works. Okay, we could wait. We know it's going to be big, and we know your guys are working to get us on our way to the moon. I appreciate you guys fully.
There you go. Is that it? All
Yeah,
right.
man,
Hey,
that's it, man.
yeah, I just want to thank everybody for participating in this today. I mean, Rusty and Tuna, they were real well prepared for this. I think everybody that's listened to this probably has a little bit more confidence in the project. I mean, you don't get much better than this, guys. You really don't. As they said, we build a community here, and it just gets stronger and stronger. And we really don't need to shill ourselves and market ourselves, because you're getting a guaranteed 1% that's proven by actual bots that are working. And there's not much in DeFi that can do that. That's not a Ponzi. So just want to thank Blockchain Ben as well. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say.
I have a quick
That's pretty
question
much
for the
about it, but thank you.
community. So guys, yeah, I just want to hear from you. Like, first of all, thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been